Hey folks, this is going to be kind of a messy video, but for fun, I thought I would make a video showing you guys kind of my complete collection of actual Hot Wheels stunt tracks. And I've made videos kind of showing all of my like Hot Wheels World sets and all kinds of different play sets in the past, but I've never really shown um, my stunt track collection very much, I don't think. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to do that while I'm, I guess, taking somewhat of an inventory of my various pieces. It's kind of been a project I've been working on for all of my stuff lately, is just kind of taking it out of its containers that I've had it stored in many cases for years, and kind of looking at everything and deciding, hey, do I need this? Do I not need this? You know, is there something else I want to get to replace a few of these parts, or, you know, this and that, various reasons for, you know, taking everything out and looking at everything. But a person who owns things like this should do that from time to time, or else they should just not own them in the first place, I suppose. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. I want to show you everything that I have because why not? And as I take a look at everything that I have, I'm actually, for the most part, rather pleased at the pieces I have. Now, I do not have that extensive of a collection compared to, say, all of my Hot Wheels World playsets or other playsets in general, all my different Hot Wheels garages and things like that. Not nearly as large as that, but I've picked out over the years a few sets that I've really liked and, you know, just really wanted to keep. So there's a few more that I wish I would have. Actually, mainly wish that I had more spare parts. Excuse any little noises that go on as I'm in my basement here. So, but essentially, let me just kind of get started. So the first thing that I have that I'll show you is kind of some older parts. They're not too old, I guess, but I don't know, what would they be? Maybe somewhere between 10 and 20 years old now. So I have a lot of various stunt accessory pieces, and obviously things like this were released in, I don't know, what would it be, the 80s, 90s, or even earlier than that? I'm not sure, and they would have been sold kind of widespread at stores. Essentially those really long, skinny boxes that would have been, you know, $5 or less, that come with you know, just a little add-on stunt that you could get. It's like a stocking stuffer size item. They were really fun, and they used to have those in stores a lot back in the day, I feel like. And then they didn't, and then they did again at Toys R Us only, and that's essentially what these pieces are. So I've got a lot of curve pieces, and essentially they sold, you know, single 180 degree 180 degree curves, and I have 4 of those. So I've got those are all orange tracks, and then I have a loop kit, I have a launcher kit, I have a clamp kit, I have a jump kit, and then I have this crossing intersection kit. So I think that was kind of the complete little collection of ones that were sold at Toys R Us. I'll maybe just show you like one random instruction manual for the gravity clamp, let's say. And, you know, these came with a few straight pieces of track, and then the accessory and a few connectors generally. So I've got several of those. I kind of wish I would have kept duplicates of those. I did have them, but, you know, just decided to keep one of each. But it's okay. You know, things I think about are like, wouldn't it be nice to have a couple different of these loops? But I actually kind of do in a way, because I also have this Hot Wheels Kid Picks track pack that actually has kind of basically duplicates of all of these, except not exactly. It's a little bit different. I mean, instead of having white track connectors, these are orange. The launcher is purple in this one. It has some of these little jumps or these little risers that aren't in any of these other accessories. So it's kind of its own unique thing. But I really like this little collection here. This was, it's just a nice all-in-one little package of really nice, you know, kind of old style pieces. It's like if you wanted to just have a little sampling of old school Hot Wheels, this would have been the thing that I would recommend to get. Of course, now this, you know, this was in stores back in the, what would have been, the 20 teens at some point, and it's long gone now, so I have no idea if these are even easy or hard to find online. Probably not super easy, but I'll show you kind of the back of this. It's, you know, just to make this layout that they have here is really, it's pretty cool. I mean, you got a gravity drop, you got some of these little risers that you can use as a bridge, do a curve, do a jump through the loop, which has the launcher. It's just a perfect little just layout. And actually here is, it has pictures of all these little accessories, which are the ones that I have. So I have opened all of these. And I didn't show you the boosters yet, but I do have boosters as well from those individual packs. So that's that. I have those. And then another one that Toys R Us had was a really cool set. And this was, they had this at other places before Toys R Us, although I don't remember exactly where they sold it. But the Hot Wheels 10-in-1 set. So that is what all these pieces here are essentially. There and all the way over here. I have 2 of those, and so what you're seeing there is the combination of 2 of those sets. So like, you know, each of those came with 2 boosters. I have 4. You know, it came with, each of them came with 1 of these, so I have 2, you know, you get the idea. I have 2 of those. I wish I would have bought even more than that, because this is by far my favorite of the kind of expansion sets that, well, it's not really an expansion set because just buying the set itself is enough to have a really good layout. Having 2 makes it even that much better, and 2 is kind of enough, honestly. So that's why I just have 2, but to have a couple more of these just as backup would have been nice. So I wish I would have had the mind to have purchased more of those. Now, again, just like everything else, probably really expensive to try and find online. I'm not sure. You guys might have seen other kinds of combinations like that, like the Hot Wheels Super 6-in-1 or something like that. In my opinion, this is kind of the best of those kinds of ones. Although I wouldn't mind getting a Super 6-in-1 if I could come across one these days. And the reason why is because the Super 6-in-1 came with one of the old school type of launchers with the foam pads. That would actually be kind of cool to have. These ones come with the kind of newer style, just the rubber kind of ones, which are superior, probably, in my opinion. They make them that way for a reason these days, because they work. But nevertheless, those foam ones are so nostalgic and kind of cool. So maybe I'll try to look for a Super 6-in-1 to kind of add on to this whole thing. I don't know. But anyways, I have 2 of those. And then as far as other little accessories go, I have some more modern ones that I've actually, many of these I've picked up recently and even made videos of. So you got various loop type things. I've got this this kicker loop here, and then I've got, well, I forget what this one's called, but it's basically a jump set there. And then over here, I've got just kind of a standard modern style loop with this little connector on top, which is cool. This little intersection, a jump. So these are kind of some more modern takes on some of the vintage pieces, which are pretty cool, honestly. And so it's nice to have some of those as well. And all of these now, as far as I know, you can't find them anymore in the stores. So I don't know. I hope that some of these little accessory packs make a comeback. It seems like they're kind of on and off in the stores, so that's just kind of how it is. I mentioned I have a couple boosters. I have 2 of these, which were the Toys R Us ones that came by themselves. And if they look familiar, I think these same exact boosters would have come in other play sets. I think there was a starter set back then that had that same exact booster, for example, if I remember correctly. So that's that. I have this other booster here, which I can't even remember when this was in stores, but it's a unique one because it actually has 2 different speed settings. So I decided to get one of those. Probably should have bought a second one, but I don't know, at least I have one. And then these ones are more modern and kind of match with these parts. So just some more modern boosters. And these are cool because they've got these little track connectors on here, which none others None of these other ones have, and also some places to park your cars, just making use of the space on top and actually using it for something. But otherwise, it's a pretty standard booster, so it's kind of cool that they're still kind of releasing the same basic style of thing. As an aside, I will say, I still wish that Hot Wheels would do something where you could have the option to plug in an AC adapter into some of these electronic things, because batteries are kind of expensive and annoying. But anyways, it is what it is. And then I have some straight track. I've got probably some more in various other containers and things, but straight track is straight track, so I'll just show you what I was able to pick out here. And this is almost like a time capsule, honestly. Toys R Us used to sell just single straight track pieces that you could just literally pick up one and buy, and you can see it's even got barcodes on it. So one piece of track with one connector is what you could get for, I think it was like $1. So I got 10 pieces of each of a lot of these in different styles. So essentially for a while they sold these old school ones that had these old school, you know, white connectors like this. And that was cool. And then they started to get a little bit more modern and started to sell these ones, which to me are almost low-key kind of junk now, because we have these newer style ones, which I like much better. I mean, these are nice because they're a tighter connection for the pieces, essentially, with these little buttons here. But the problem is pulling these apart. But that was a problem that they fixed, with which is now, and has for several years been, the new standard, which is these blue style connectors with this push button in the middle, and really an ingenious little design, because once you connect these together, it creates a really solid and secure connection. And then if you want to pull them apart, well, you just push the button in, and on both sides it lowers these tabs so that you can just easily pull the track apart. Really an ingenious little design, and I think it's great that that's kind of the new gold standard. And then I only picked up 4 of these for a while. Kind of the last of these, I think. Toys R Us was selling essentially the same thing, but they kind of made like a permanent attachment for these connectors. So you can basically see that on both sides here. It's kind of like a permanent attachment. I'm sure there's a way to get it off if you wanted to, but you know, I don't know if that was like an anti-theft thing, or if it was just, you know, actually an idea just so that kids wouldn't lose these connector pieces. I kind of prefer it without having that, so I only bought 4 of these. I wanted to have a little sample of them just because they're kind of unique, but honestly, I'd rather be able to just pull the connector off, honestly. So so that's that. And then I've got some Dollar Tree tracks here. So these are kind of cool. And actually, they're not bad. They're extra long track pieces. Are they longer than the Toys R Us ones? They are, by just a little bit. So they're really extra long, and they're thin-walled tracks. So, you know, all these Toys R Us ones that I have are, they have taller walls, which is good. But these are kind of nice too, because they're, you know, they're a little bit more flexible, I guess. So I bought a bunch of those because they were cheap. I may not keep all of those because it's a lot, but at least I have them. I have some of these smaller little packs of these basically modern style tracks with the blue connectors. And then now we have this, the new style, which I always forget what these are called, but these are the new 2025, 2026 style of track that is actually, it's like hard, and I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. The connection points with these are pretty good. It's easy to snap them together and then pull them apart. What do they call it? Easy snap or something? I can't remember. So they come apart and connect pretty easily, and it's a nice solid connection, but I don't know. I just like the regular old school Hot Wheels track. I feel like the new standard with these blue connectors is, I don't know if we need anything else, to be honest with you guys. So I don't know, just my thoughts on that, but I have a nice little sampling of those, and so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I got these curves, which I can't remember where exactly I got these. It was either Dollar Tree or it was Toys R Us. I'm kind of thinking Toys R Us, but I just can't remember. So I don't know if anyone happens to have also picked some of these up in the past. Maybe you can remember and let me know. I have a feeling I got those at Toys R Us, but I just don't remember. And I do have some more Dollar Tree kind of tracks over here, and I think I'm gonna not keep these, actually. I'm not sure, but you know, they sold these launchers, which for $1 is not bad, but I've got all the other better launchers, so I don't really need these. They had these little jump accessories. These are actually kind of cool. Maybe I'll keep one of these just for the fun of it. I'm not sure, but it's not, I don't know. It doesn't come with like a landing piece, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just not super useful for me. And then they've got these curved tracks too, which is nice to have a Dollar Tree curved track, but I've found that these aren't very, they just aren't very nice, these ones in particular, so I may not hold on to those. I also do have, and you'll have to pardon my mess down here, this is a basement and I'm in the process of organizing, but Dollar Tree did have some loops as well, and I may end up keeping one or two of these because these are actually pretty good. Just a simple loop base and then a long piece of track that you just wrap around to be a loop. That's actually pretty cool. While I'm here, here's a big Hot Wheels set. Already forgot what this is called. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one or not, but heck, it's a big one. So big motorized set where you go all the way to the top, go through the loop, and then basically spiral down, and there's a few jumps here where the cars can crash. That's a pretty cool one. I've made a video about this one in the past. Since I'm here, I guess I'll show you some of these that I have in storage, kind of on some of these shelves here. A few Dollar Tree tracks that I've opened. Up here I've got a few other random pieces. So let's see, if this one is this random kind of figure, not a figure eight, it's just a simple oval with this interesting style manual launcher. This is a double loop little set, little stunt set that I think Walmart's kind of a place that you can get that pretty easily, at least as of 2025, 2026. I've got this Auto Lift Expressway, which, can you count that as a track set? Maybe, kind of. It's like almost a hybrid track set and almost a city set. Not quite though, because I don't know, but it's there. It's got some track connection points you could add. Stunt track if you wanted to, but that's kind of getting out of the lane of stunt tracks, I guess. This one's really cool, this modern style figure eight. That one's a keeper for sure. And then I've got the Super 6-lane raceway here, and don't have any plans to get rid of that anytime soon. That's a pretty cool track. The only thing about this one that I wish was that there's something that annoys me about the finish line flag, and that's that I wish that it could light up and tell you which car made it through first without playing the sounds, because the sounds are kind of loud and annoying. So that's one thing that I wish it could do, and I don't think it can. Yeah, I don't think I have batteries in there right now either. So let's see, I'm looking around to see if there's any other stunt type sets I can show you that I have set up. I have, let's see, I gotta go to this shelf over here. There's one loop set right there, that triple loop that I have, 4 stunt sets. Otherwise, I think that's about all I've got. But then I've got a few boxed sets. I've got this starter set right there. That was sold everywhere, and you'll have to pardon some of these basement noises that are going on right now, so sorry about that. But I've got this starter set that was later renamed as, oh shoot, what is it called? Something else. It's gonna come to me. Maybe by the end of the video, maybe not, but it got renamed at some point, and Walmart has been selling this set for years and years. It got a bit of a color redesign, but it is it has been at Walmart forever. So I guess it's popular enough, and I really liked the original design with the blue and the red and the orange. Now I believe it's red, orange, and green, kind of a different color scheme a little bit, but it's a really great set, so definitely happy to have that one. I've got a few more over here to show you as well. Again, I don't, compared to a lot of my other sets, I just don't have that many stunt sets, but I do have some. And some of these I may get rid of, some I'm gonna keep. I've got this little stunt loop. This just comes with a launcher and a loop basically, so that's kind of cool. And then this one, I'm just gonna show you the back here. Crash and Dash Speedway, which was a Target exclusive. 2 launchers, 2 loops, and then this cool finish line flag where the tracks kind of converge into one, which is pretty neat. So both of these kind of just to have some extra track and loops and launchers essentially, because those are good things to have. And the pieces that come with these sets, in my opinion, they're just nice pieces. You got a lot of track, and I actually like these loop bases because they're the old school ones. They come with some stickers that make it look a little bit more modern, but they're the old school loops, so so that's pretty cool. And same with this one as well. So those are some nice little things. Then I've got, I'm gonna turn this around, see if I can show you guys this. The Hot Wheels Speed Chargers Circuit Speedway. This is kind of an off-the-wall one. It's got, it's basically, was this one that you could actually plug into the wall, or was this batteries too? This one you might have actually been able to plug into the wall. I can't remember, but anyways, it had, oh no, requires 9 AA batteries. So yeah, I don't think any of these Hot Wheels you could ever plug in unless you wired them up yourself, which I know people have done, but yeah, these are electronic. You basically bring the cars into these little charging stations, you charge them up, and then they just keep going and going. And this is a cool set because you can just go laps and laps, and I think these counters go up to like 99 or something ridiculous, and you can actually get them to that many laps around the track without taking too long, because the cars go through pretty darn fast. So I don't know if I'm gonna hang on to this one or maybe sell it. I'm just not sure because it's kind of such a big set, but it really is fun. It's a fun set. But I have it for now. Then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna show you this one. This is the Hot Wheels Accelerator Swamp Beast. And this one is, so I'm not really a big fan generally of like monster type sets, but this is one exception because I just like the track layout, and I'll just show you the thumbnail here. Let's see if this will focus a little bit better. It's neat because it's got a simple launcher, or a simple booster. It's just a single, just like the rest of them that you would get, and it just does a simple figure 8, which is nice. But then it has this little extra area that you can go up and around, go across a jump, and then there's this other way where you launch here and send the little monster in the air. So it's just a nice kind of smaller stunt set, and it's kind of a sampling of, you know, just having one little monster type set, I guess. And I just really like the layout of this one. So I have that, and that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and set this one on here so I can show you these other ones that I have underneath here. And this one here is the Crisscross Crash. This is a remake of the original, which was released when, in the 90s? I don't remember, but it was a remake, and they've made a remake of this remake before, but this one I've decided that I like this one kind of the best of them all. And the reason why is just because this one is, it's just kind of simpler, and it works really good. It doesn't have a lot of parts. The remake of this, for some reason, just seemed a little bit bulkier, and when I tried it, I just didn't like how it worked quite as much. This one's kind of fun too because it does have the old school foam rollers here for the boosters, and that's just, it's so old school and kind of fun. So it does have that. So I guess that's my sampling of that, but I wouldn't mind finding a Super 6-in-1 just to have a you know, a regular of these size of the old school boosters. but we'll see if I can come across one of those for a reasonable price. I don't know. That might be a pretty tough ask. But then in any case, we have the, yeah, Crisscross Crash. I almost wish I wouldn't have put these stickers on because obviously they're not worn at all because I haven't used this very much. But, you know, with heavy use, they could become worn, those stickers. But anyways, I've got that. And then instead of turning this box around, I think I'm just going to turn the camera around and show you. This is the Hot Wheels Speed Racer Sky Jump set, and they did make a remake of this with more like, that wasn't Speed Racer brand and was more like the blue and orange colors that Hot Wheels typically does for just regular Hot Wheels releases. But they kind of remade the design of it, and it wasn't quite as good in my opinion. So this is kind of the OG, if you will, the more complex design of the Sky Jump, and it's a pretty cool set. So I have that, and it's got the similar complex booster, just like the Crisscross Crash. Just has a lot more loops and things like that, and plus it has that Sky Jump feature, which is pretty fun. So again, I'm not really a big themed set person, so I don't really like that aspect of this personally, but this is the only way to get this unique layout. So I have that, and yeah, I think that is basically all I have at the moment for all these various stunt sets. So I guess I didn't show you this one either. This is another sort of modern one, kind of just a big kit of various pieces that you can put together. So I have to kind of take a little more inventory of these things and decide if there are maybe one or two of these that I decide I no longer need in my collection, and if there's another one or two that I want to try and find online or something to add to this, just to have what I want, you know, just for what I want to have these days. You know, as years go by, kind of change your mind on what pieces you want to have and what pieces you no longer really need to have. But overall, I'm pretty happy with my collection of my stunt Hot Wheels sets. And again, compared to my other collections like Hot Wheels World and things, this is a lot smaller, but even just looking at it as it is, it's a pretty big collection. So yeah, happy to have that. And actually now I just realized there's yet one more that I should show you quick, just at least this bottom part, and this big mega loop, whatever the heck that's called. And you kind of getting a glimpse of what I'm doing for storage here. I'll maybe make another video for that at some point when I'm done with that project. I'm not sure, but I'm trying to kind of organize things. So I've been working on storage solutions here in the basement for all my various opened Hot Wheels and other die-cast play sets and things. So anyways, folks, this video has gone on long enough. It's almost a half hour in length already. So but there it was, my collection, my current collection. I may be missing a piece or two, I'm not sure. Like after I stop the video, I might be like, oh, I forgot to show you guys that one, but that's just the way that goes. But yeah, my complete collection of Hot Wheels stunt sets and pieces that I currently have. I hope you enjoyed this fun little video, just kind of taking a look at all these pieces. And I don't know, let me know what your favorite stunt set from Hot Wheels is. And yeah, because I'm sure that you guys probably have some sets or pieces that I don't have, because there's a lot more out there compared to what I just have. But again, I'm happy with what I have. So anyways, I will end it with that. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.